About 8 minutes ago, we did hear from Allison John. She is the mother of Botham John, the man who was murdered, of course, by Amber Guyger. Guyger sentenced to 10 years in prison. That was handed down just a short time ago this afternoon. If you missed her statement, she made it going on 8 minutes ago, and we want to share, once again, part of it with you.
September 6, 2018 changed my life, changed my family's life, changed my country, changed my church. And I know that there are many people who stood with me and my family throughout this tumultuous journey. Yesterday, we saw the conviction of Amber Guyger, and today we heard the sentence of 10 years in prison. That 10 years in prison is 10 years for her reflection and for her to change her life. But there is much more to be done by the city of Dallas. The corruption that we saw during this process must stop. And it must stop for you. Because after now, I leave Dallas, but you live in Dallas. And it must stop for everyone. The contamination of a crime scene that we saw coming out of this case is one that must never happen again.
That's right.
The poor training or the poor use of what should have been training is what we see coming out of this case. That should never, ever happen again. Amen. And if this was applied in the way that it ought to have been taught, my son would have been alive today. If Amber Guyger was trained not to shoot in the heart, my son would be standing here today.
He was no threat.
He was no threat to her. He had no reason to pose a threat to her because he was in his own apartment, in his sanctuary, in the place in which he paid a lot of money to be in. He paid rent to be there. He had every right to be there in whatever state he was in. Yet still, his privacy was violated. Amen. She intruded on him. Yes, she did. And that was not enough. She killed him.
That's right. Cold-blooded. Yes, she did. Cold-blooded. Murder.
Our life must move on. But our life must move on with change. That's right. There's got to be a better day. And that better day starts with each and every one of us. Right. The city of Dallas needs to clean up inside. Amen. Right. The Dallas Police Department has a lot of laundry to do. Amen. The Texas Rangers need to know who's on board. Yes. And every single one of you, citizens of Dallas and residents of Dallas, need to know what to do to get your city right.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
An extraordinarily powerful statement from the mother of Botham John, Allison John. Again, that happened in the last 15 minutes or so at the courthouse, the Frank Crowley Courts building in downtown Dallas. Amber Guyger sentenced to 10 years in prison for the murder of Botham John. That juxtaposed against the video in the moment of her son, less than 30 minutes before that, when he, from the stand, told Amber Guyger he did not want to see her go to jail. He wanted her to be okay, and then he asked if he could give her a hug. The judge said yes. We'll see you tonight for CBS 11 News at 6 o'clock. For now, continuing coverage of the Amber Guyger trial continues with the CBS Evening News.